Hi, my name is Giseli. I'm student in the Cobay Semsat Gualula. Today it is up to me to tell you some stories. We start with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful. That's what matters to me. Steve Jobs, as quoted in the Wall Street Journal summer 1903 AD. The famous Apple computer was co-founded by Steve Jobs with Steve Wozniak. Under Jobs' guidance, the company pioneered a series of revolutionary technologies, including the iPod, MacBook, iPod, and iPad. Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco in February 24, 1055 AD, to two university students Joan Stubble and John Gently. They were both unmarried at the time, and Stephen was given up for adoption. Stephen was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, whom he always considered to be his real parents. Stephen's father Paul encouraged him to experiment with electronics in their garage. This led to a lifelong interest in electrons and design. Steve Jobs attended a local school in California and later enrolled at Reed College, Oregon in USA. His education was characterized by excellent test results and potential. Jobs experimented with different pursuits before starting Apple computers with Steve Wozniak in 106. Steve Jobs was smart but directionless. His first real computer job was working for Atari Computers. During his time at Atari, Jobs came to know Steve Wozniak well. Jobs greatly admired this computer technician, whom he had first met in 1701 AD. In 1706 AD, Wozniak invented the first Apple I computer. Jobs, Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne set up Apple computers. In the very beginning, Apple computers were sold from Jobs' parents' garage. Over the next few years, Apple computers expanded rapidly as the market for home computers began to become increasingly significant. Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was a Roman Catholic nun who worked in India but was born in Albania. She is famous for helping the poor, the starving, and other unfortunate people. She was born in 1010 in Macedonia and was fascinated at an early age by stories for missionaries. At the age of 12, she had decided to lead an eternally religious life. Mother Teresa became a nun at the age 80 and first traveled to Ireland for religious study and then went to India. She took her vows in 109,031 and never saw her mother again after that. She founded the Missionaries of Charity in 1950 with the blessing of the people. She opened the first home for the dying in Calcutta, India, 2 years later, b. 1997, the Missionaries of Charity had grown to over 4,000 members, with hospitals and orphanages around the world. The order helped millions of suffering people in India and elsewhere. During the 1982 League of Birth, Mother Teresa rescued almost 40 children from a hospital. By negotiation across fire, she evacuated the trapped patients by traveling through the war zone. In 1991, she had a Percy market fitted to regulate her heartbeat, and she offered to give up her position as the head of the charity. However, who was Steve Jobs? Do you have an iPad, iPod, iPhone, a smartwatch, or a Mac computer? If you don't, you probably know someone who has one or wants one. Steve Jobs made the company Apple that created these things that are now such an important part of the lives of millions of people. He was born on February 24, 1935 in San Francisco, California. When he was a boy, he had a special hobby. He liked to take apart televisions and put them back together again. He was a very good student in school and even skipped a grade. After he finished grade 4, he went into grade 6, and in 1972, when he was 17, he graduated from high school. He then began his studies in Red College in Portland, Oregon, but dropped out after 6 months, deciding to quit was not at all easy. It was difficult, but as Jobs later said, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. 2 years later, in 1974, he traveled to India, and while there he learned about Buddhism. After Steve Jobs returned to the United States, he found a job as video game designer at a company called Atari, and 2 years after that, in 1976, when he was only 21 years old, he created his own company, Apple Computer, with his friend Steve Wozniak. Steve Jobs later got married in 1991 and had 4 children. Unfortunately, doctors discovered that they had cancer in 2003, and in 2011 he died in the age of only 56. Albert Einstein. My name is Albert Einstein. Many people know about the great things I've accomplished, but I had many barriers before I became famous. I was born in Germany. When I was in elementary school, I already knew about math and statistics. When I was a boy, I pretended to be a great scientist. I loved school, but my life at home was hard. My father lost his job, so my family lived in poverty. We could not pay the rent in Germany. We became immigrants and went to Italy. I finished high school and went to college in Switzerland. After college, I began reading about science. I did not reach success in an instant, though at first. Other scientists did not approve of my work. They thought I was a failure. Rising to the rank of an admitted scientist was a gradual process. Some people started to notice that I was right. At last I began to get some recognition. I showed how to find the approximate size of very big things, like stars. I also detected and explained the movement of very small things, like atoms, and for fun. I made a machine that could refrigerate food by inserting heat. I never retired. It was my duty to keep working. I overcame many hard times, and I will be remembered for my important works. How the sun and the moon were made. Do you ever wonder where the moon and the sun came from? The Inuit people of Alaska have a theory. They tell the story about a beautiful girl. She was very nice. In contrast, her brother was a mean little boy. One day he proposed sometimes. We should go to a party, he said. The girl accepted. First, it was necessary for her to prepare. She arranged her hair and put on nice clothes. This required a lot of time, but the girl worked hard and soon she had success. She looked perfect. They attended the party together. The girl was having fun later. She walked into the bathroom suddenly. The lights were turned off. Someone grabbed her hair and tore her clothes. She ran out of the bathroom. She wanted to know what did this to her. Then she had an idea. She fixed her hair again. This time it was even more beautiful. She even balanced beautiful heels in it. She wanted to encourage the person to grab it again. She put black dirt in her hair. The purpose of this was to catch the person. She went to the bathroom again, and it was the same pattern. The lights went wing and someone grabbed her hair. When he realized it, his hand was black. The girl returned to the party. She knew there was only a single person with a person's hand. When she had that person, she was very familiar. It was her brother. He ran into the woods, the girl after him. They both carried fires so they could. She in the dark, the smoke went into the air. As they ran, gray. They became hugged. Then they went into space. When the girl's fear went out, she hung in the sky. She became the moon, and her brother became the sun. They chased each other forever. The little turtle. There was a little turtle. He lived in a box. He swam in a puddle. He climbed on the rocks. He snapped at a mosquito. He snapped at a flea. He snapped at a minnow. And he snapped at me. He caught the mosquito. He caught the flea. He caught the minnow, but he didn't catch me. Bachel Lindsay. A visit to the zoo. Today, our class teacher took us to the zoo. We went to the zoo because We were about 20 students on the bus. We entered to zoo through a large gate. Our teacher greeted us. We saw a lion inside a cage. We also saw tigers, giraffes, and other wild animals in a fenced area. The best experience was seeing the role of the big lion face to face. Snake Park was also a part of the zoo. It was a thrilling experience, watching the snakes move just like that behind the glass panes. We came back to school at 3 p.m. It was a place worth to spend time with family or big groups. The Wolf and the Lamb. One day, a lamb was eating sweet grass away from her flock of sheep. She didn't notice a wolf walking nearer to her. When he saw the wolf, he started pleading, "Please, don't eat me. My stomach is full of grass. You can wait a while to make my meat taste much better. The grass in my stomach will be digested quickly if you let me dance." The wolf agreed. While the lamb was dancing, she had a new idea. She said, "I can dance faster if you take me bell and ring it so hard." The wolf took the bell and started to ring so hard. The shepherd heard the sound and ran quickly to save the lamb's life. The Lion and the Cows. Once upon a time there lived 4 cows in the forest. Every day they used to graze together in a particular spot. They were all friends. One day a lion saw the cows grazing together. The lion wanted to eat them, so he went to catch them. When the cows saw the lion, all of them fought with him. The lion had to run away. A few days passed, and the cows quarreled between themselves and started grazing separately. One by one, the lion killed all of them. Moral of the story: until is strength.